Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you? All right, inshallah, in just a moment, we'll get started. Today, we're going to look at juz number 2, the second juz of the Qur'an. Now, I recommend for those of you who have access to a copy of the Qur'an, which is in the Uthman Taha form, that you use an Uthman Taha Qur'an. This is Qur'an that will look like this. And the benefit of the Uthman Taha Qur'an is that it makes it a little bit easier to read. This is a very common style. You'll see it on a lot of computer programs, mobile apps, a lot of printed Qur'ans in different parts of the Islamic world. Even if you go for ziyarah or you go for Hajj, you will find the Uthman Taha Qur'an. So if you're used to reading the script, then it's easy for you to find, and that's easier for you to read. Also, every single page in this Qur'an ends with the end of a verse. So if you want to read a single page, it's easy to remember where you ended because the end of a page will be the end of a verse, and the beginning of the next page will be the beginning of the next verse. And every juz of the Qur'an is 20 pages, except for the first and the last one. But every juz, every ara is 20 pages. So the 30 divisions of the Qur'an, they're all equal length in terms of how many pages they are. So that makes it easy for a person to read a single juz of the Qur'an, divide up the Qur'an over a month, for example. So if you have access to an Uthman Taha Qur'an, I recommend that you use that and get in the habit of reading with that Qur'an. If you're using an Uthman Taha Qur'an, we're going to start from page 42 today. So from page 42. So feel free to turn to the second juz of the Qur'an, page 42. All right, and let's start reading. So do we have a volunteer to read first? You don't have to be an expert. Just read it in a slow and a careful pace, and we'll correct each other if there are any mistakes. So who would like to be our first volunteer?
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam.
Which ayah are we at? I don't have that particular Quran.
So we're starting from the second juz. That's page, sorry, I said 42. I should have said 22. It's page 22 in the Uthman Taha Quran. And that's verse 142 of Surah Al-Baqarah. 142 of Surah Al-Baqarah.
May a female recite?
Sure. So if everybody can recite, if you're reciting in just a normal recitation voice and not in like a fancy tajweed form, but a normal recitation. And so gradual pace so everybody can follow along, and those who might not be as fluent, they can also practice and improve their recitation, inshallah. So please go ahead.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سيقول السفهاء من الناس ما ولاهم عن قبلتهم التي كانوا عليها قل لله المشرق والمغرب يهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم وكذلك جعلناكم أمة وسطا لتكونوا شهداء على الناس ويكون الرسول عليكم شهيدا وما جعلنا القبلة التي كنت عليها إلا لنعلم من يتبع الرسول ممن ينقلب على عقبيه وإن كانت لكبيرة إلا على الذين هدى الله وما كان الله ليضيع إيمانكم إن الله بالناس لرؤوف رحيم قد نرى تقلب وجهك في السماء فلنولينك قبلة ترضاها فول وجهك شطر المسجد الحرام وحيث ما كنتم فولوا وجوهكم شطره وإن الذين أوتوا الكتاب ليعلمون أنه الحق من ربهم وما الله بغافل عما يعلمون يعملون ولئن أتيت الذين أوتوا الكتاب بكل آية ما تبعوا قبلتك وما أنت بتابع قبلتهم وما بعدهم بتابع قبلة بعد ولئن اتبعت أهواءهم من بعد ما جاءك من العلم إنك إذا لمن الظالمين.
Very good. Ahsantum. So these verses, they were talking about the change of the Qibla. When the Prophet migrated to Medina, originally the Qibla of the Muslims was facing Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is in the north of Medina. And Mecca is in the south. And so the Prophet was facing the Qibla that Allah had commanded him, but the Jews in Medina said, well, the Prophet is facing our Qibla, because they claimed that Jerusalem was their Qibla. And in Medina, after some months, Allah had the Prophet change the direction of his prayer to Mecca. And these verses speak of the change. One thing that we learn from this is that sometimes, we find people who are not Muslim and we try to change our behavior to not be made fun of or not have them think that we're doing something odd. And if there is something which is a practice of our religion, like our prayer, like wearing hijab, like the foods that we don't eat, if that is something that is part of our religion, we shouldn't be embarrassed if people who are not Muslim don't understand it. That message in this last verse, verse 145, is very beautiful. وَلَئِنْ أَتَيْتَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ بِكُلِّ آيَةٍ مَا تَبِعُوا قِبْلَتَكَ. If you give every proof to the people of the book, they wouldn't follow your qibla. And so the Qur'an tells the Prophet, don't follow the desires of the people of the book. Do what's right, and Allah will support you. Thank you, sister, for the recitation. Would somebody like to volunteer for the next page? Feel free to volunteer, and if you're not fluent in recitation, that's okay. And you don't have to do an entire page as well. So if you'd like to read less, that's okay. It doesn't have to be a full page. Muhammad Ibrahim, go ahead. Loud and clear voice, inshallah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alladhina atainahumul kitaba ya'rifunahu kama ya'rifuna abna'ahum هم وإن وإن فريقا منهم ليكتمون الحق وهم يعلمون الحق من ربك فلا
تكونن
تكونن من الممترين ولكل وجهة هو مولها فاستبقوا الخيرات أينما تكونوا يأتي بكم الله جميعا إن الله على كل شيء قدير.
Very good. Alhamdulillah. Did you want to stop there? Sure. Very good. All right. Would somebody like to volunteer next? All right. I'll recite about a page or page and a half, and then our next volunteer can step forward, inshallah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن حيث خرجت فول وجهك شطر المسجد الحرام وإنه للحق من ربك وما الله بغافل عما تعملون ومن حيث خرجت فول وجهك شطر المسجد الحرام وحيث ما كنتم فولوا وجوهكم شطره لئلا يكون للناس عليكم حجة إلا الذين ظلموا منهم فلا تخشوهم واخشوني ولأتم نعمتي عليكم ولعلكم تهتدون كما أرسلنا فيكم رسولا منكم يتلو عليكم آياتنا ويزكيكم ويعلمكم الكتاب والحكمة ويعلمكم ما لم تكونوا تعلمون فاذكروني يذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون يا أيها الذين آمنوا استعينوا بالصبر والصلاة إن الله مع الصابرين. Before we move on, let's pause with these last two verses. Allah says in verse 152 of Surah Al-Baqarah, فَاذْكُرُونِي أَذْكُرْكُمْ. Remember me and I will remember you. Now, of course, Allah knows everything. Allah always is aware of everything. He never forgets. But when Allah says, remember me and I will remember you, remembrance by Allah is that He gives blessings. He protects. Not that He forgets, but that He doesn't provide that special help and blessings that we need. So if we remember Allah, we do the right thing in our life, then Allah remembers us. Washkuruli, and Allah says, be grateful to me. Everything that we have, it comes from Allah. Sometimes we feel sorry for ourselves because we don't have everything we want. But if we think of all the things Allah has given us, then we will feel grateful. And Allah says, don't be ungrateful. وَلَا تَكْفُرُونَ. And then Allah tells us that when you need help in life, if you have a goal that you want to accomplish and you need help, where do you get that help? Ista'inu bis-sabri was-salah. sabr, patience and forbearance, and salah. Patience is to fast. That's one of the forms of sabr that's mentioned in hadith. When you need help from Allah, even if it's not the month of Ramadan, do a recommended fast and Allah will provide help. And salah, of course, is prayer. Okay, now to move on to verse 154. Do we have a volunteer?
Can I volunteer?
Sure, go ahead. Do you have a camera that we can also, if you can turn on your camera, that would be great. If not, then go ahead.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا تقولوا لمن يقتل في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء ولكن لا تشعرون ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وأولئك هم المهتدون.
Can I pause you right there?
Yes.
So just for a moment, these are very beautiful verses and very beautifully recited by our brother. In these verses, Allah says that we are going to test you. Everybody is going to be tested with fear, with hunger, with loss of property, with loss of life, with loss of fruit. Fruit can mean children and it can mean investments and other things. And then Allah says, but give good tidings to those who are sabir. When they face difficulty, then they don't lose faith, they don't lose hope. They say, we belong to Allah and to Allah we shall return. Allah will send His salawat upon them. And the salawat and the blessings of Allah, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Allah sends His salawat on the Prophet. The angels send their salawat on the Prophet. So when Allah says, أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَيْهِمْ صَلَوَاتٌ مِّن رَبِّهِمْ وَرَحْمَةٌ, that mercy, those blessings, that protection that Allah gives and the angels pray for the Prophet and the progeny of the Prophet, that will come to those who are sabir, meaning that they are like the Prophet and they will be with the Prophet in that grace and protection of Allah. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُهْتَدُونَ. Those are the ones who are guided by Allah. And now the next verses will talk about Hajj. Please, brother, continue.
إن الصفا والمروة من شعائر الله فمن حج البيت أو اعتمر فلا جناح عليه أن يطوف بهما ومن تطوع خيرا فإن الله شاكر عليم إن الذين يكتمون ما أنزلنا من البينات والهدى من بعد ما بيناه للناس في الكتاب أولئك يلعنهم الله ويلعنهم اللاعنون إلا الذين تابوا وأصلحوا وبينوا فأولئك أتوب عليهم وأنا التواب الرحيم إن الذين كفروا وماتوا وهم كفار وهم كفار أولئك عليهم لعنة الله والملائكة والناس أجمعين خالدين فيها لا يخفف عنهم العذاب ولا هم ينظرون وإلهكم إله واحد لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم.
أحسنتم. Jazakumullah. All right, we are now at Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 164 in the Uthman Taha Quran. This is page 25. Do we have a volunteer to recite? Brother Mohsin, would you like to recite?
I can do that, yes.
Sure, go ahead.
إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار والفلك التي تجري في البحر بما ينفع الناس وما أنزل الله من السماء من ماء فأحيا به الأرض بعد موتها وبث فيها من كل دابة وتصريف الرياح والسحاب المسخر بين السماء والأرض لآيات لقوم يعقلون ومن الناس من يتخذ من دون الله أندادا يحبونهم كحب الله والذين آمنوا أشد حبا لله ولو يرى الذين ظلموا إذ يرون العذاب أن القوة لله جميعا وأن الله شديد العذاب إذ تبرأ الذين اتبعوا من الذين اتبعوا ورأوا العذاب وتقطعت بهم الأسباب وقال الذين اتبعوا لو أن لنا كرة فنتبرأ منهم كما تبرأوا ومنا تبرأوا منا كذلك يريهم الله أعمالهم حسرات عليهم وما هم بخارجين من النار يا أيها الناس كلوا مما في الأرض حلالا طيبا ولا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين إنما يأمركم بالسوء والفحشاء وأن تقولوا على الله ما لا تعلمون.
Jazakumullah. Ahsantum. Brother Mohsin, were you looking at a Uthman Taha Quran?
I was, yes.
Yes. So let me just make a note, because part of this is also to familiarize ourselves with the recitation. For those of you who have an Uthman Taha Quran, if you're not used to the script, there is a little bit of a difference in the Uthman Taha script than some of the other scripts of the Quran, especially those that are published in Pakistan and India. And that is that when there is a case of idgham, when one letter is going to be absorbed into another letter, the Uthman Taha script does not write that down. But some of the other scripts, they do put a shadda. And if you see a shadda, for example, on a waw or a ya after a tanween, then that reminds you that you have to do idgham. But the Uthman Taha Quran, it doesn't do that. So the most common instance is when you see a waw or a ya, and before that there is a tanween. Unfortunately, the Uthman Taha, fortunately or unfortunately, the Uthman Taha script doesn't show that you have to do idgham. So you have to kind of remember that. And for those of us who, are not accustomed to this from before, it takes a little bit of practice. So let me read verse 165 once again, and I'll stop in those places so it can become clear. When there's a noon or a tanween. Verse 165. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَتَّخِذْ. So you'll notice I didn't say man yattakhidh. I absorbed the noon of man into the ya of yattakhidh. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَتَّخِذُ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ أَنْدَادًا. Now, note how I'm going to say andadan. أَنْدَادًا يُحِبُّونَهُم. So the tanween of andadan mixes with the ya of yuhibbunahum. Andadan yuhibbunahum kahubb Allah. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ. So hubban lillah also. Here, the lam of lillah, you see the shadda. But earlier, we didn't see the shadda on yattakhidhu. Correct? Or the shadda on yuhibbunahum. So that's a feature of the Uthman Taha script. It doesn't show it. Some other scripts, they will show that shadda. Right? Does that help? So it's just a matter of getting used to it. Once you have a habit, then you'll automatically make that correction. All right, I think we have time for one more reciter. Do we have a volunteer?
I can recite.
Sure.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذا قيل لهم اتبعوا ما أنزل الله قالوا بل نتبع ما ألفينا عليه آباءنا أولو كان آباؤهم لا يعقلون شيئا ولا يهتدون ومثل الذين كفروا كمثل الذي ينعق بما لا يسمع إلا دعاء ونداء صم بكم عمي فهم لا يعقلون يا أيها الذين آمنوا كلوا من طيبات ما رزقناكم واشكروا لله إن كنتم إياه تعبدون إنما حرم عليكم الميتة والدم ولحم الخنزير وما أهل به لغير الله فمن اضطر غير باغي ولا عاد فلا إثم عليه إن الله غفور رحيم.
Very good. Ahsantum. I believe we are out of time. We've read almost 1/5 of the juz. Please do build up the courage and try to finish off that juz by tomorrow. And inshallah, we'll start with juz number 3 tomorrow. So if you have some time to finish off this juz, we'll start a new juz every day, and hopefully that'll help us build up the motivation to complete recitation of the entire Qur'an during this month of Ramadan, and also improve our recitation and a little bit of our understanding of the Qur'an as well. And those of you who do have a camera, please do turn it on so we can also see each other and it can feel like it is a Qur'an circle. We're not in the same place, but virtually we'll join in, inshallah, to a shared recitation of the Qur'an. We're moving towards the time of iftar. Keep each other in our du'as. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام.